Hi. Um, a few videos back, I talked a little bit about how having something every day affects me physically mostly. I did touch a little bit about emotionally, uh, but just coming off of a 3-week journey of something happening pretty much every day. The mental side of it is kind of hitting hard today, and part of it I know has to do with a friend of mine in the hospital with from pneumonia and a pulmonary embolism, and the embolism is especially is was triggering because in 2021 my best friend slash chosen sister had died of a pulmonary embolism. While I was sitting there holding her hand, and she kept telling, because she kept gasping over and over, help me. And there really wasn't anything I could do. The paramedics were already there, even though she got very mad at me for calling them. But that's it. But yeah, that so that was very rough. She wasn't technically pronounced dead for a few hours later. They had tried to resuscitate her for quite a while, trying to get a hold of the family. Biological family. And her mom was not picking up the phone for whatever reason, even though I had called and told her as soon as they took Rebecca out of the room. And so I don't know why she didn't answer when they called. But anyways, that's another beside the fact. But and it's one of those I've had. What made it even worse is that once again I had to tell our 3 young children that their parent has passed away. Their dad had passed away 5 months earlier from undiagnosed heart condition, and I had to tell them then that he passed away. Rebecca didn't really want me to tell him that he was gone because she was hoping that he would come back to life through prayer and such. And but which I know can happen. There's a whole lot of debate, lot into that I don't really want to get into, because it's not. But yeah, it's but the paramedics was actually really surprised that the kids were Rebecca's as much as they were coming to me for comfort and through it all and such. And especially the youngest, who was like a week before her 5th birthday. I would have to stop and do the math. Anyways, no, 6th birthday. It's like a week before her 6th birthday, and so yeah, it was really hard on her because she was her mom's shadow, and when she wasn't shadowing her mom, she was shadowing me. But I really miss those kids. Rebecca's mom had gotten guardianship, and her and her other daughter took the kids away and tried to get a peace order against me on their behalf and all this other crazy stuff. Mostly, a lot of it was out of jealousy, because the kids were going to me instead of her. And but I was in their lives and every day for almost 4 years before this happened. So yeah, it's not, to me it wasn't surprising, but anyways, I'm getting off track. Today is one of those days where the past kind of creeps up on me before I came to live here. For 36 years, I was in a very abusive, controlling situation in my family of origin. I was told often by my biological mother that she never wanted to be my mom. The only reason she kept me was for appearance sake. Didn't put me up for adoption as it is and such. And I was pretty much treated as an object for most of my life. The animals and stuff got better care than I did. My brothers could do whatever they wanted to me without consequences. And there wasn't really anything I could do about it. It's a few times where my parents did get mad at my brothers. They took it out on me. I was the scapegoat in a lot of ways. But because of all that and much, much, much more, I've often got hit with the thought, would have been better off if I was never born. Which ironically, Marlene had tried to do that. She would probably never admit it, but she had attempted to abort me and such. Not so much she didn't really want me. So but yeah, I get. But not only do I get hit with, would have been better off if I was never born. I also get hit with a lot of thoughts like I'm a stupid, worthless nobody that can never do anything right, and all kinds of other lies, really. But to me, trying to find the right words here. Even though I know they are lies, I had been told it so often it's hard for me to believe that they're lies. A lot of head knowledge, easily head knowledge, but not heart knowledge type thing. Because a lot of times I do feel like I'm a failure. Because here I am in my 40s, and I still have to rely on people for so many things. It's like rides, particularly. Not just because I can't afford to buy a car. And such. I have a valid driver's license, but sorry about Bella. Bella! But anyways, sure thing. But it's really challenging to have to rely on others' rights, and frustrating where the doctors won't do anything else with me until I do PT, and I'm not able to do PT because of rides and stuff, and taking medical public transport like Uber or even the medical transportation thing doesn't work for me. I get such severe anxiety and sometimes even PTSD attacks going places with people I don't really know. I mean, even going out with people I do know, I usually I subconsciously keep track of how to get to where we're going and how to get back home and stuff, just in case I had to find my way back home on my own. I know that sounds silly, especially in our days, but as a kid, there was always that irrational fear of being left somewhere and having to find my way back home, and Not really sure why. It's something that has been there for a very, very long time. I remember when I was really young. I'm not sure exactly how old I was. I was still in a car seat. And not even old enough to be able to buckle and unbuckle myself, really. But yeah, I was still in the car seat, and I when I was going to Grampy's, once, like we did every Sunday, I took paper to draw a map on how to get there. And it was mostly in my mind in case I ever needed to find my way there or back for whatever reason. I don't remember why now, but there was always that fear. Which at the time I thought was normal, but the more I'm away from my family origin, the more I'm able to start to see how messed up my childhood and life was before I got away. What made it even harder is that I didn't have anyone really that I could turn to. I was very, very rarely allowed to be around others without a family member nearby. And that family member did most of the talking. If anyone tried to talk to me, and they would intercept. And they would answer the person's questions, even things like how am I doing. My family of origin would answer for me with me standing right there, type deal. And I was made to feel like that was normal. It was very rarely that I was called by name. Even out in public, I was referred to as so-and-so's niece, granddaughter, daughter, sister, whatever, and not my actual name. Or I was called by some other name, like Fred Ed or Carly Sue, or I don't remember what the others were, but things like that. And it's hey you, it's I kind of learned to answer to just about any name that I heard them say, because usually it was referring to me and directed at me. But anyways, it just it's just challenging. All the mental things that get thrown at me, and especially where I haven't really had time to recharge. And next week's also gonna be one of those weeks where a lot of social interaction and stuff. I'm gonna be going to the kids' other side of the family, their side, for Thanksgiving week. And it's nice visiting them and such, and I know Bella has a blast there. They have this huge fencing yard for her and her litter mate to run around in and such, and those two are quite the pair and inseparable. Usually the first night or two I've been having to put Bella in a crate, because otherwise she would, every 5 to 10 minutes, she would wake up and go up the stairs to see if it was time to go play with her sister again. And so yeah, thankfully after the first couple days they usually calm down a bit, and that's usually when I end up coming home. It's I'm usually only there for like 3 days or so, and this one's gonna be almost all week, so, which is gonna be fun and interesting to see how the pets react. I have mixed feelings about having to take Oreo with me, where he doesn't travel well anymore, but it's too long to leave him here by himself, and despite even the automatic feeder and the such, and no one is able to come watch him because they already have other plans and such. So he gets to come along, and which is always so much fun. But anyways, this is turning into a very long video, and I know in a few days I'm usually able to pull out of this funk, but with where I was thinking, we're going to their friend's house for the week, it's been on my mind, trying to get ready and stuff, and I find myself wondering if people ever regret me coming into their lives and such. A lot of times they feel like a burden. I'm no unimportant. But hopefully someday I'll feel better. Can't think of the words. Feel different about that. To not let the past dictate my life anymore with those kinds of thoughts and such, but it's still hard for me to picture someday. But for now, continue doing what I need to do, taking care of myself and taking it one moment at a time. And I know life is getting better. It's 100 times better than it was before I escaped my family of origin. It's just at times it's challenging where like when my neighbors and such don't understand why I don't have contact with my family anymore, and I don't really get into it very much. Because I don't want I don't want to be known as the one who got I don't know how to put it into words. It's just I don't really want that side of my life being my identity, even though I know it plays a big part into who I am and all that. But yeah, someday. Anyways, I will talk to you later. Bye.